A whole lot of my subscribers are far better than me in Call of Duty Mobile. Some of them are even pros. So a couple of days ago, I asked on my YouTube community tab, hey guys, can you give me all of your best tips and tricks that would help anyone go from noob to pro in Call of Duty Mobile? And hundreds of people responded. So today, what we're going to do is go through all of those tips and tricks, what the community came up with, and this is the ultimate guide for you to go from noob to pro in Call of Duty Mobile using all of the best tips and tricks that the entire Call of Duty Mobile community has to offer. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get into this. Starting things off here, we have the absolute legend Thinker on YouTube here. This guy has given me so many awesome tips and tricks, and I cannot wait to show them to you. Massive shout out to you, Thinker. Number 1, never re-peek an enemy sniper with the same position. Mix it up a little. If you've been spotted, then switch positions because all it takes is one headshot to kill you. That's it. Use a 3-finger layout / HUD. Make sure your controls gives you the ability to shoot and jump / prone at the same time with ease and comfort. You want to be moving around the map at 1,000,000 miles an hour and never stop to have to shoot, right? It may take a while to get used to, but it's entirely worth it. A moving threat is always more dangerous than a stationary one. Number 3, always seek advice to other pro players if you're trying to build a gunsmith to a gun that you have no idea of, all right? You should ask about the strengths and the weaknesses of the base version of the gun so you know what to be improved on it. So say one gun is really bad at long range. You probably should put an attachment on that'll help with that so you can use it in a more wider variety of scenarios. You, of course, have to understand that other players have different play styles. Some are more aggressive than others, so you can't just be lazy when learning the attachments. You might have to actually change them yourself and not just simply follow what other people have to say. But the other people do have a pretty good understanding if they're pretty experienced at this game. As he says later on in this tip, something many new players are confused about is ADS bullet spread accuracy. ADS stands for aiming down sights. Some people don't understand that. If you've not really played Call of Duty or many other shooting games, you might not understand that. If your ADS bullet spread accuracy is low, then your bullets will veer off more whenever you aim down your sights to shoot, rendering the gun less usable at farther ranges. The DRH is a gun that has a very bad ADS bullet spread accuracy for its base version. So try to not have too many attachments that decrease its ADS bullet spread accuracy. Number 4, always have your targets within your crosshairs before you aim down sights to shoot them. This is more efficient than having to waste time recentering your aim onto your enemy after you've already aimed down sights. So basically, you need to have that crosshair when you're at hip fire already on the enemy player, and then essentially the second you press the aim button, you're already on the player. You can press shoot, done, instant, they're dead. Try to find your perfect sensitivity. Every player has different sensitivity preferences. If you're an SMG main, then higher sensitivities over 90 should be better for you because it enables you to turn around faster during those confusing close quarters combat situations. As for ARs or LMG mains, then maybe medium sensitivity, which he says 50 to 80 should do for mid-range accuracy while maintaining reliability at close range. For sniper and marksman mains, that sensitivity should be around 10 to 30. Obviously, it's entirely up to you, and as Thinker is saying, you really need to test it out yourself. What you should be doing is going into practice matches, maybe up against bots, maybe going into the simple training mode. You really need to test it out, be comfortable with it, and see what is the perfect sensitivity for you. A good tip that I would suggest everybody to start off with is to hold your phone or your iPad in your hands and comfortably reach as far as you can with your thumb, right? And then you should be able to slightly move it a little bit to the right. And if you can move it a decent amount of distance across your screen as I am doing, and then being able to turn at about 180 degrees, that is pretty good, at least for people that want to perform at a bit of a closer range. So just understand that. It can be entirely up to you, but that's a good rule of thumb to start. I like number 6 because he says always take advantage of movement and try to get to some useful parkour spots on different maps. I have many different videos on Call of Duty Mobile where I show you guys some of the best spots in different maps. Some of these are glitches, so you can't do them in public servers. Other ones are not. So if you wanted to test them out, if they still work after the time since I've uploaded those videos, then you might want to check them out because they're really going to be useful if you want to get some nice kill streaks in maps like Crash, Firing Range, etc. I'll link one of those videos down below in the description if you want to go check it out. Tactical grenades offer the best movement speed, so whenever you play a round of search and destroy, switch to them and use this fact to your advantage to get to power positions faster. You can also still switch loadouts within the first 20 or so seconds of the round, as long as you don't shoot at all. So basically, you know, essentially, the second you start, within the first 20 seconds, as long as you don't start shooting people, you can switch your loadout, so you can do that and make sure you got that tactical grenade in your inventory. Continue on, as he says, equip the tough weapon perk, which is a perk that boosts your movement speeds when you spawn, not to be confused with toughness on an assault rifle. Get that speed boost and then use the tactical grenade and then immediately switch back to your main loadouts. Thinker just keeps going. He has amazing tips and tricks, but let's try to speed up the last few ones here so we can get to other people's tips and tricks, because other people even have better things than what Thinker has to say. Be patient. Kills is not important than winning. So sometimes you need to back off, right? That's pretty important. Don't always take the fight if it's not in your best interest. Audio. You need to always wear earphones and headphones when playing. That is a given. If you don't have that, you're going to be at a severe disadvantage. Diversity. If your teammates are using sniper rifles, assault rifles, and SMGs, then you should use a shotgun. Don't use the same thing that everybody else is using. Keep up with the times. Weapons are buffed and nerfed every season. Stick to the meta if you really want to win. So, you know, there are other YouTubers out there that are a bit more in tune with this type of stuff. If you want to go check out their videos, you probably just need to search up, you know, whatever the latest season is, meta, COD Mobile, and then you'll see whatever that latest season's meta weapon is. Try out every gun category and get used to them. Being a versatile player means you don't have to worry when you run out of ammo and have to pick up another person's weapon. This is very important. You want to test out everything, because you're not a pro if you can only use one gun in this game. You need to be good with everything, all right? Don't be stubborn. If you keep dying at a certain place of the map, switch it up a little, all right? If you keep dying at that one spot in firing range where everybody can see all the way across the map, maybe don't go there. Go to a different spot, and then that way you don't keep dying, right? Okay, but now what we need to do is we need to continue on and go to some other people's tips and tricks, because there are other awesome tips that I would like to show right now. Similar to what Thinker said earlier on, Crispy Jello says that you need to find guns that suit you as a person, okay? Get familiar with them and memorize their recoil pattern. Level them up and create a gunsmith class that you do best with, not someone else's. Then start exploring the other guns and become familiar with them as time goes on. So, if you sit there and you constantly see videos on YouTube where people are saying this is the absolute best gunsmith build for this particular gun, that might work for the majority of people, but not necessarily for you. So you can use that as a basis and start off by using what their gunsmith build is. But if you notice maybe the recoil is a bit too high, or maybe there's other slight problems with it, you can tweak it so it works to the absolute best for your own play style. So start off with the YouTube videos, see what other people have to say, maybe the pros of Call of Duty Mobile, and then later on, adjust it so it fits your play style the best. Grasson Cox right here has a great tip for both multiplayer and Battle Royale matches. So you can always keep moving, do not camp, right? You always want to make sure you have cover around the map, but you don't want to camp, because camping is a bad little thing to get used to, a bad habit, and it's not going to work all the time. There are a lot of matches where people are simply too fast, too aggressive, and camping just does not work. So you want to learn actually how to get around the map fast, and it's going to help you out in the end. SKC says, if you're tryharding, especially in a hardpoint match, make sure you don't waste your operator skills or large score streaks. Practice your operator playtime and your score streak timing / placement. However, if you're using some operators that have a fast recharge time, don't be afraid to use them, because you'll always have time to get them about 2 to 3 times per match, especially if you're playing with the OBJ and trying to score points for your team. Also, remember that you're not immortal when you're using your operators, and neither are your score streaks. Continuing on, make sure to check the map for any SAM turrets deployed, as they will decimate your aerial score streaks. Also, unless you're doing a challenge or you're really good, don't fill up all 3 of your score streak slots with expensive score streaks, right? Like the Stealth Chopper, Advanced UAV, and VTOL, as he says, because you'll have a hard time getting those score streaks in the first place, especially if you are a beginning player. You want to have easy to get score streaks at the very beginning. That way you can actually use them in your matches, even if you don't get a great kill streak. As he says, if you feel like you can't get any expensive score streaks, try playing around with the persistence perk, red, and the hardline perk, blue, so that you can actually get to know your score streaks and earn them easier. And then lastly, as he says, if you still can't get them, remember that kills are not always the name of the game, and you should choose your fights carefully. Essentially, just like Thinker said earlier, you don't always need to take a fight. If you're at a good score streak and you don't think you can actually win that fight, maybe it's best to just back off, because that person's not going to get the kill if you back off, so it's not like you're even losing, you know? So just go and try to fight somebody else, and it's going to help you out in the long run. Arrow has some awesome Battle Royale tips, so if you're a Battle Royale player, hey, listen to some of this stuff because this might help you out a lot. First off, always keep moving no matter which situation you're in. This is just like what somebody said earlier. You don't want to camp. Don't get into the habit of camping. It's going to suck. It's going to be boring. Okay, you're going to be playing for 15 minutes, hiding behind a tree or in a cave or something like that, and then somebody's just going to come out of nowhere and kill you, and all that time was wasted when you could have, you know, actually had some action, and it would have been a lot better. And when you have that action, you're going to actually get better at the game. Next up, always throw smokes toward your downed teammates so that you can safely revive them. Why would you just sit there in the middle of the open and try to revive somebody in the middle of an open field? It's obvious they probably got downed by some sniper up on a mountain, and you're probably going to get down too. So if you think it's going to be safe enough, put down a smoke grenade so that way the sniper cannot see you. They might just start blindly shooting into the smoke, and if you're lucky, you're not going to get hit. So you should be all right. Next up, try to find enemies' territorial weak spots. Sometimes they can leave an open area that you can flank through. Remember that armor plates and adrenalines can be the difference between life and death, all right? And then finally, last but not least, you should pick the right class. The ones I recommend are Ninja, Airborne, Trickster, and Refitter. They give you a strong advantage. And my personal favorite is the Ninja class. I love being able to use the little grappling hook flying across the map. Other people might prefer other things, but hey, if you're trying to move around the map fast, there's really nothing better than the Ninja class. It's just so cool. Test it out. Rommel has said some things that were said earlier on in this video. After you have gotten to the point where you've tested out a vast majority of the weapons, you're comfortable with some of them, and you want to actually win more matches more consistently and rank up high in the ranked matches, then you need to actually use the meta. You need to use the viable weapons that are in Call of Duty Mobile. Before you go into ranked matches, it's always a good idea to go into practice range, or maybe just practice against AI players for 5-10 minutes, you know, just to get comfortable with it. So then that way, you're not just jumping into ranked for the first time in an entire day when you're still a bit rusty. So just always practice and use the meta, because it's definitely going to help. Vibov M, I hope I'm saying your name right, has said that you always need to have high ground whenever possible to spectate the situation and the position of enemies. Shoot only when you're in a good spot so that no third team would get involved and kill you. So say you're on the top of a mountaintop and no one else can have a good vantage point over you, but you only see one other person far down below, or team. That might be a good time to shoot them because you have the entire mountain for cover and you're high up above everybody else. But if you're midway up the mountain, right in the middle, and you see somebody down below, and you think you might have a good shot at them, you might want to be careful because there could be somebody that's way up at the top that can shoot you while you're shooting them, and that is never good. So be careful which fights you pick. Anurag Krishna, again, I hope I'm saying your name right, has said that you need to keep the knife button over the firing button. This is something I have said pretty much right from the very beginning. That way, you don't have to try to, like, move your thumb or move your pointer finger to a different spot on your screen when you're wanting to try to knife somebody. You literally just tap the firing button again, and then you knife them. And you're always going to win if somebody else doesn't have that and you do. You're always going to be able to knife them first. I'm surprised more people didn't like Hafi's comment, but I think it's very important. This is sort of, you know, continuing off of what Thinker said earlier on in this video. You don't want to look at the floor. You always want to keep the crosshairs at chest level. This is because if somebody pops out from behind cover, you're already at chest level, and all you need to do is zoom in, and you're already going to kill them, okay? If you're looking at the floor, then you need to move your gun back up to the chest level, then zoom in, and then kill them, and then that's time wasted. They might kill you first. So, again, just take that tip to heart. It's going to help you out a lot. Something that I actually did not know until I read this comment from Mr. Bloody Hyphen, and I can see that a lot of people actually had no idea as well, is if you press the aim down sight button, not hold, just press it while you're sliding, it will cancel the slide animation and you will slide further and faster, making you harder to hit. So if you like sliding across the map and wanting to make yourself a difficult target to hit, this is going to help because it's apparently the meta move in Garena and Indian versions and in the OAE competitive scene. So definitely test that out. Go into practice matches. Get comfortable with that because that is actually really going to help you out a lot. Vibov has said another great Battle Royale tip. Make sure to get the airdrop loot as quick as possible. There's a high chance that the enemy team is going to arrive just a second later and shoot you when you're not focused on them. In several cases, especially toward endgame, multiple teams might be going toward that airdrop, and you'll be sandwiched and then die unexpectedly. So if you're, seeing the airdrop pretty close to you, get there as fast as you can and go. Get out of there before other teams arrive. Hooded Tomahawk Gamer has some pretty good tips for beginning Call of Duty Mobile players, and I realize this video is starting to get pretty long, but these are some pretty important things, and I want you guys to understand. This is a bit easier than what the other person said earlier on in this video. You just want to practice slide jumping. This is when you slide jump, right? And it makes you move a lot faster across the map, makes you a more difficult target, and it's really going to help you out a lot if that starts to be a consistent thing that you do in your play style. Continuing on, don't use top-tier weapons or other people's loadouts. Use the one that you're comfortable with. This is something that we're seeing continually throughout this video. All the pro players understand that you need to have your own best loadout. You can't just have a one-size-fit-all loadout for everybody because people have different phones. People have different play styles. People like to be different. They are not all the same, so you need to have a gunsmith that works perfectly for you. Next up, don't spend money on CP to start, right? You shouldn't have to because it's not pay to win, at least in the beginning, okay? Don't be toxic. And then don't rage if you lose. It's just a game, all right? You're just having fun. You're supposed to just enjoy it, right? And I understand Call of Duty Mobile is one of those games where you see those raging 12-year-olds all the time in those YouTube videos, but you don't have to be like that, okay? It's okay to get mad and upset, but don't rage, okay? It's just a video game. It's not real life. So just understand, as long as you're not like in a tournament or something, you don't really have anything to lose. Another thing that Mr. Bloody Hyphen has said is you should get familiarized with the game's mechanics by watching other YouTubers' videos and analyzing their gameplay. You could even watch a live stream where you can see somebody play for an extended period of time. Montages, especially videos where people get nukes with certain weapons, right? Because they can show a lot of specifics that you might not be able to understand, right? Maybe my videos aren't the best example of that because I would not say I'm the best Call of Duty Mobile player in the world, but there are other YouTubers who play for hours a day, every single day, Twitch live streamers who play for hours at a time, right? They're going to be the people that you're going to want to watch to actually get better at the game. My videos, I just play for fun. I do stupid stuff like try to hack in Call of Duty and then get banned, right? So don't watch my gameplay if you want to get better at the game. You should probably watch other people's gameplay, but hey, people watch my videos for different reasons. Lenny DeMay has said some stuff that, maybe some people would agree with, maybe some people won't, but it's worth mentioning. You might want to try out increasing your field of view to the max. That way you can actually see enemies a bit better and have you more awareness. Instead of seeing this much, you can see this much, and that's going to help you out a lot. Also, as he says, use that 3 to 4 finger claw. It's going to take just a bit to learn, right? Honestly, he says 2 weeks to get used to. It took me less, so honestly, it's all entirely up to you. Really, you can use even more fingers if you're playing on a big thing like an iPad, like this, right? And Doomer here is saying, if you're trying to capture a flag in domination and you keep dying trying to capture that flag, you want to slide into the rooms instead of walking into them. Because as we said earlier, pro players are going to have that crosshair lined up at body, if not head level. Okay, especially in a room. So if you slide in, you're going to take him by surprise a lot of times, and it's going to help out, maybe potentially giving you a better chance of surviving when you're trying to take that flag. And getting toward the end here, because this video is getting pretty long, Suhan the Tanker over here is saying that for squad tips in Battle Royale, if you have a gunner team and you like to camp, which we did say, try not to camp too much, but sometimes it does help in Battle Royale, you can stay clear, go up into the mountains, and then just be that eagle eye, Be the guy that sits there with the big sniper scope and just looks out and sees if there's any enemies around. And then your teammate can be down below and take them out. And this really will only work if you're in a voice call with your teammates, but you know, might as well try it out because this is the perfect example of how you can work together and do really, really well. I do like this one thing that Phoenix64 here says. It's okay to have bot skins, Scout 1, Charlie, etc. Always show your skills, not your skins. There's this weird, like, aura around players that have a cool skin. They just automatically think they're better, when in reality, they might not be. Okay? Think about it. I'm a YouTuber. I don't play Call of Duty Mobile that much. What if I just spent thousands of dollars every season to get all the coolest skins? Doesn't mean I'm better at the game. I just have cool skins, right? So if I sit there and I just have a bot skin, I can prove everybody wrong and do really, really well. And as he says, you know, it's better to be a skilled player rather than a skin collector. You can collect skins if you like it. It's perfectly fine, but try to, you know, really work on your skill level first. All right, and we got one more tip here from Bravo6 going simp Among Us, okay? All right, we got somebody with the Among Us username. He's saying beginner tips. I'm not sure why we have to read more, but let's go see here. We're no strangers to love. You know the rules, and so do I. Oh no. Well, we got rickrolled right at the very end there, but it's all right. We got some pretty cool tips and tricks here, and this is not even all of the comments that we had that I actually asked you guys to let me know on. I mean, it's crazy how many suggestions we got, and I want to thank everybody for commenting their tips and tricks. It was really awesome, and I'd love to do more videos like this. If you'd like to see the full list of like 200 or 300 different tips and tricks, then you want to go down to my community tab on my channel. And what you need to do is, if you're watching this video a few days after it's been posted, it'll probably be one of the very top posts, the most recent posts on my community tab, where I say, hey, COD mobile players, my next video will be made with the help of all of us, etc., etc. So you can see that, go to the replies, see the hundreds and hundreds of different tips and tricks that all the people had to say. And again, thank you guys so much. I'd love to do more videos like this. Comment down below any other tips and tricks that you have, and comment down below other videos you'd like me to do where we can do something similar to this, where I have the help of everybody involved. Thank you so much, guys. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all later.